Alright. Welcome back to WMMA Now. Last video we were talking about some recent fight announcements. This time we're going to have a couple of discussion topics I want to talk about. First one, last week, probably heard by now, Cynthia Calvillo recently coming off a loss against Carla Esparza. She failed her post-fight drug test. She tested positive for marijuana metabolites. Now, doing a little bit of research, I haven't looked at it today, but apparently USADA actually lowered their threshold for THC to the point where you basically have to be smoking within the last 24 to 48 hours of the fight to fail. And she still failed, which means she was basically smoking weed within 24 to 48 hours of the fight. Okay, now, here's what I want to talk about. Whatever your personal views are on marijuana, personally, I don't care. I don't smoke. I have a job that could possibly require me to be drug tested, so I haven't smoked in a long time. I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you live in a state that does it. The athletic commissions in pretty much every state doesn't allow it within competition, and USADA doesn't allow it within competition. That's the rules. If you're a fighter and you get caught with pot, you're going to face a fine, you're going to face suspension, you could even possibly face loss of sponsorships because a lot of sponsors don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with someone who can't fight and who is associated with something that is still illegal in most states of the country and is in the U.S. and is still illegal according to federal law. Listen, fighters, and I know this is a new channel and I'm probably not going to get any fights watching this, but fighters, put the pot down close to a fight, okay? It's just not worth it. Getting suspended, losing streams of revenue, it's just not worth getting high for, what? Quit a month before the fight and you're almost guaranteed to pass. You know what? Catholics give up stuff for Lent every year. I knew a guy that actually gave up weed for Lent. He did it. That was 40 days and 40 nights. Fighters, you can give it up for long enough to pass a freaking P test, okay? Just put down the weed. Next subject I want to talk about. Last month, actually a month ago today, at Road FC 45, Seo Hee Ham knocked out Jin Fry, still sporting Fry's shirt, at Road FC. Yeah, that was at Road FC 45. Ham knocked her out. She hit Fry with a counter left as Fry was coming in, and Fry just fell over like timber. Ham jumped on her, started pounding away, ground and pound. Ref jumped in, intervened. It was a TKO at like 4 minutes 40 seconds of the first round. Ham ended up breaking her arm. Her radius now has a plate and a couple bolts and screws in it. She's going to be out 4 to 6 months. That kind of sucks for Road FC. Sucks for Ham. First of all, I'm sorry to see that about her. The loss sucks for Jin Fry because she's got to go back to the drawing board. I was cheering for both of them. Definitely didn't want to see either of them lose. It was a hard fight for me to watch. It sucks for Road FC because they have one of their champions out for another half a year. But it's a good thing for the Road FC matchmakers because it gives them time to figure out who to match them up. So I created a list of possible opponents for Ham, possible challengers for Ham, and I split it up into two sections. First half of the list is going to be possible or most likely opponents, and the second half of the list is the ones that I think everybody would love to see, but it's just not likely to happen. Alright, starting off, Ashley Cummins, 6-4, has fought almost her entire career out in Invicta FC. Now, is Cummins a top contender in the division? No. Is she a tough fight for everyone in the division? Definitely. And that's why I think it should be booked. Cummins is well-rounded. and she's tough. She's not an easy win for anybody. So I would definitely like to see Ham fight a tougher fight, her next fight out. Next up, and I think this one is probably the toughest one on this list, would be Amber Brown, 7-4. Brown recently sort of made her return to atomweight. She missed weight for her last fight. She had tried to go up to strawweight for 1 or 2 fights. Didn't do so well there, so now she's back at atomweight, where she belongs. She went up to strawweight because she had lost the title fight to Ayaka Hamasaki, so she wanted to move up and try that out. Now she's back at atomweight. Amber Brown is probably the single strongest fighter in the atomweight division. She gave Hamasaki a really tough fight. Hamasaki even admitted she was seconds away from tapping out in the first round of their fight, and she got saved by the bell. So I think Amber Brown versus Ham would be a very interesting fight. Next up, I have Irish fighter Catherine Costigan. Costigan 6-2. She had lost 2 in a row back in 2015. Took 2016 off. Recently made a return to winning ways. She won a fight in Cage Warriors in 2017. Road FC likes to bring in foreign fighters, and I don't think, they don't get too many Western Europe fighters, so that'd be an interesting matchup. Next up, Kira Batara, 7-4. She's fighting for the Combate Americas Championship later in a few months, I believe. I don't think they've set a date. The opponent's name escapes me at the moment. One problem with Kira Batara is weight issues. Ever since she went up and fought a fight at strawweight in Rizin, she has had issues making weight. One of her fights, even last year or the year before, was even canceled. Batara is great on the ground, not so good striking, but she could possibly give Ham trouble with her crafty 10th Planet submission game. Next, Erica DiBercio, 11-4. Last I heard, she was pregnant. Don't know if she's still got that affliction, if she's still afflicted with pregnancy or not. Even if she's not, it's still probably going to be a while. But hey, Ham's out for a while. Maybe by the time Ham's ready, DiBercio could be ready. DiBercio's a darn good fighter. She's had some ups and downs ever since moving to Invicta, but I think it could be a good fight. Last on the possible, most likely, I have Satomi Takano from Japan, 12-9. Takano, also known as Sarami. You got that whole Korea versus Japan rivalry going on, and both Road FC loves to play on that, so that's a possibility. Alright, next we're going to move on to the would-be awesome, but snowball's chance in hell fights. First I'm going to go with Mei Yamaguchi. VV Mei, 17-10-1. She's fighting Angela Lee coming up in a rematch of their first fight, which was a darn good fight, for the one atomweight championship. It's strawweight everywhere else in the world. VV Mei and Ham have squared off, I believe, twice in the past. I know Ham got the better in one of them. I think she might have gotten better in both of them. But I still think it'd be a good fight. VV Mei is very good, very well-rounded, and I think she truly belongs at the atomweight class. And a true atomweight class. I think the biggest problem is going to end up being the fact that she is locked into one ever since she fought for them. The first time she's fought for them exclusively, they seem to have pretty tight, pretty exclusive contracts. Next up, we have Reina Kubota. I wrote down the wrong record for her. But she's only recently suffered her first MMA loss. She hasn't lost in kickboxing or shootboxing for years. And actually, Ham and Reina have a pretty good shootboxing fight. It's pretty easy to find on YouTube. Reina won that, I believe, by decision. That'd be a dream fight. Of course, Ham's not going to fight outside Road FC. She's a champion there, and they're not going to let their champions go elsewhere. They've let other fighters fight outside of Road FC, but not the champs. Reina, I just don't see her fighting outside of Ryzen. I think she's only fighting MMA for Ryzen. Other than that, she's still fully committed to shoot boxing. I think MMA, I don't even know how serious she actually takes MMA. So that's why I don't think that fight would go. But I still think it would be an awesome fight to make in MMA once you add in the full ground rules. Shoot boxing is standing submissions only. They do allow throws. But other than that, it's mostly kickboxing. So I think if you add in the threat of a ground game, I think it would be a really awesome fight. It could possibly go differently and Ham could win that. And the last on the would be awesome but not likely list would be the girl who beat Reina, Kana Asakura, out of Japan. She's 11-2. She is the Ryzen. Now I'm not sure if that's the Ryzen Super Atomweight Champion or just the Ryzen Super Atomweight Grand Prix Champion. Either way, I see that being a hindrance to her fighting against Ham because, again, Ham not going to fight outside of Road FC as a champ. And Asakura, she might be locked into Ryzen, or if she fights outside of Ryzen, I see it being either deep jewels or back to Pancrase. Either way, I think that would be the biggest atomweight fight, certainly in Asia right now, but possibly in all the world, because Asakura had a huge year last year. So that's my possible list of possible Ham opponents. Last in this video, I want to talk about the recent fights in one championship this past weekend. Now, in the one atomweight, which is really strawweight category, we had from Indonesia, Hurtadi Lumbanggol versus, Malaysian Adri Laura Bonifaz. Now, hey guys, if you know if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, please correct me in the comments below. Goal won by TKO, 3 minutes 23 seconds of round 3. Let me tell you guys something. She landed a hell of a combo. It was like a 5, 6, 7, 8, strike combo. Excuse me. She landed a punch, then she landed a kick, then she landed a punch, and then she landed a right and a left kick. And then she landed a few more punches until the ref intervened, and that was from Hurtadi, and then Bonifaz just had enough. The referee intervened. I'll be honest, I had written this fight off because they were both coming in at 0-2. This is a good fight. And then for the main event of the one championship event was Xiong Jingnan, or if you for you Westerners would be Jingnan Xiong versus from China, from Tiffany Teo out of Singapore. Guys, Xiong Jingnan worked Tiffany Teo. Teo had a few moments where she was on top control but couldn't really do much. But Jingnan Xiong outstruck her. Jingnan Xiong mostly outworked her on the ground, had even gone for submissions herself. Tiffany Teo got beat up in this fight. If you have a chance to watch it, watch this fight. It was a good fight, but for the most part, it was a 4-round drubbing from Xiong Jingnan. I think possibly her first challenge as the one strawweight or flyweight champion would be, depending on the winner of WMMA versus Angela Lee. Lee has expressed wanting to move up in weight. She's getting tired of, she says she's having weight trouble. I think she's just too heavy to cut the weight. Now, people will argue that, they don't cut weight in one. And I'm pretty sure they are. And I think Angela Lee likes to eat between fights, and she has even said that she's had trouble making a weight. So I think that would be a good fight for Xiong Jingnan's first title defense. I think Xiong Jingnan definitely has the superiority in striking. Not so sure about the ground game. So, guys, tell me what you think. Let me know. Like, Leave comments below. And what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA now. I'm your host, Chuck Stevenson.